another version of that, just to import the importance of air and to make sure they know. I have these balloon race cars, and you can find these at a lot of toy stores or party stores. And the way these work, you probably know, you can find the smaller versions too. But you fill them up with air, and then you can let them go. What you do is I'll just fill up one with a little bit of air, and it'll go about a foot or two. And then I'll fill one up with a whole lot of air, and then it'll just go for what seems like miles. Now, I know that seems like a stupid little silly tool, but sometimes they just need that visual representation. You know, one of the most puzzling things about the voice, from college voice students to the youngest of singers that I work with, is that we can't see it, right? Unless we go to an ear, nose, and throat doctor and get it scoped and have a CAT scan, we can't really see our instrument. And so we teach through analogy, and we teach through metaphor. And so by showing them that, you can actually say, all right, now that phrase that only went for about a foot, you took in enough air to go about 3 or 4 beats. Why not have enough air for that car to go to the other side of the room, which ultimately we know means 2 measures or a full phrase or whatever it might be. So that's the reference to the balloon race car. Going back to that open throat feeling, that's where straws come in handy. In my hands now, I'll try and put it close to the camera. I've got 3 different straws. One is like a coffee stirrer, which is very thin, very small. The second is a drinking straw, like you would get at any fast food restaurant. And the third is a jumbo straw, what you might have for a smoothie or something like that. What I like to do with this is let the students use this as a representation of their the openness and the relaxation of the throat to take in. So this coffee stir is very hard to get a full breath in very quickly. So I'll say, all right, for 4 beats, you get to breathe in as much air as you want and then come in on Be the Change. So for instance, be the change you want to see. I got pretty close, but I was already running out of air because I would probably venture to guess I only got about 30% of the air through such a small straw. Now, when I use the drinking straw, I'm guessing it's probably about 3 times the diameter of the coffee stirrer. It's a little closer. Be the change you want to see. And what I just came up with is that it was a lot easier. I was pretty close to a full breath after 4 beats of breathing in, but I definitely felt like it was very much more relaxed. I could take in more, I could allow more to fall in. And it was pretty easy. And I also felt the exchange. I felt the investment. I could feel the ease of tone. I could feel it was a lot easier to make a fuller sound because I was able to start with so much more fuel in the tank. Then the last one, the jumbo, the smoothie straw. Be the change you want to see. And that was pretty easy. In fact, I was probably completely full by about beat 2, and I was just holding on. And what I'm feeling constantly is the idea of I have more space, I have more openness, I have much more freedom in the amount of air and the quality of air that I'm taking in. And again, we are always talking in conducting class about nonverbal communicative gestures. I think the rehearsal needs those too. So it's really not a thing just to hold up a straw in the middle of rehearsing and you're viewing your pattern and you're hearing something and you hold up your straw and you go back down and the students remember, oh yeah, I have time to breathe there. I should take a fuller breath. And so that really tends to help a lot. And that's something I've done with my senior adult choir at church to my youngest singers at school. It's really a lot of fun. So we've talked about taking air in. We've talked about ways to relax and allow the most air in. Now we've got to use that air for something. And we're going to make sure that we can use it. So phonation, so the use of the air, making the vocal folds begin their process of vibrating and making sound and coming through. There's a few manipulatives that I have for that one as well. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these before, but this is called an air cannon. It is just a silly little toy that what it consists of is just a big plastic shell, a large plastic piece here that has some bungee type